Hello, what's up guys? This is Ravindra Kanetkar and I welcome you all to the sixth part of the series of videos where we are going to create an e-commerce website fully from scratch. So far up to the previous video, we have covered displaying the products to the home page, writing UI, then we have written product description page for each product and just mapped the all the products in that were in our database to the particular URL. Right, so in this video what we are going to do, we will going to write backend for add to cart functionality, which is the most important factor or feature in every e-commerce website. Right, so without further wasting any time, let's start. Okay, so in the previous video I have explained you about order item and order model. I think that it should be explained to you by me again, right? So there will be a order item class, order item model, and it has some attributes. You can say anything. You can say table and values or columns or a model or attribute. So one order item model will contain user attribute, and in that user, so as you have gauged earlier, an order item will belong to particular user, right? And we are having one attribute called ordered, which is a boolean field which has default equal to false, because when an order is going to be processing, right, its default value must be false. And when the order is completed at the time of payment and after payment successful, then the response back from the particular payment integration mode, in this case we are using Razorpay, he will after that we are going to set this ordered equal to true. Are you getting it? Then we will have product. So an order item will consist of product also, right? And then we will have quantity, which is referring for the product quantity, right? Then we have some functions here. So str is nothing but to display in the proper format, in proper way in the Django admin panel, right? And we will have a second function which is get total item price. So what we are going to do here, when we call whenever we call this get total item price, it will return self.quantity into self.product.price. So what it will do, it will get this quantity value. So self.quantity, suppose 2, and if a product has some price, so in the order item will contain product and it will grab its price and it will multiply this. Be generally what happens when we buy, suppose I want to buy 2 pairs of shoes, right, and one pair is of suppose 1200, right, and I have purchased or I want to buy 2 pairs, right? So what it will do, it will take the value quantity 2 into the product price, which is 1200, and it will return 2400. So we can display them onto the screen, right? Are you getting it? So this is the thing. Now we will have another function which is get final price. So in this get final price, what we are going to do, we will return self.get total item price. So I think instead of this we can call this also, but get final price, which will allow us to get all the summed up price of that particular order item, right? Then we will, in the second model, so we have covered the first model. In the second model we will have a user attribute, right? So user will be there, and order will always contain a user. Then it will have items, which is many to many field order item, right? So many to many field just means that an order item can be belong to many orders, and an order can contain many order items, right? It is many to many field, and it will have start date. So whenever that particular the first product is added to the particular user's cart, then the start date will be recorded, right? So auto now add equal to true. That means whatever the time at which the cart is getting added, right? So a product is getting added to the cart, then that date will be stored in the start date attribute, start date column, right? So there, and say similarly order date will be models.date time field. So order date will be the last after the successful submission of the payment, whatever the date the user will be stored in the order date, right? Similarly, we will have ordered, right? So true or false, whether the user has bought the items or not. Similarly, an order will contain order ID, of course, right? And date, time of payment. I think you have guessed, you got these things earlier. We'll have order delivered, order received, and this thing. So we will not going to do with this Razorpay order ID. So I'll explain you this when we are integrating our Razorpay payment integration, right? So then we will have save. We are overriding this save method, and what we are doing, if we are checking if self.order ID is none, if the user has, at the time of when we create model, right, when we create an object of particular model in the views.py file, if the user, if we didn't give that order ID externally, then it will check if self.order ID is none. If the order ID is none, and self.date time of payment, so date time of payment, which is date time field, and self.id, right? So it will check if self.order ID is none, or if self.date time of payment, so date time and payment is true and true, so all the conditions must be true. Then it will, what it will do, it will generate self.order ID equal to self.date time of payment. So it will get that date time of payment and .strf time, and it will, what it will do actually, it will generate a string. It will going to store in this particular %y, %m, and %d, so that we can get plus, we are adding the ID of that particular user, right? So if the user has user ID is 101, right, and if the date of order is 10/5, that is 10th May 2020, right, 10th May 2020. So what it will do, the order ID will be pay to ME, right, pay to ME 2020 will come here, month will be 05 or 5, and %d will be date, that is suppose what we have 20, ODR plus 101, so that is 101. So this ID will be, I am going to write it here so that you can get properly. So what ID will generate, pay to ME, right, year will be 2020, month will be 05, day will be suppose 14, ODR, you can generate any random alphanumeric string, it is up to you totally, 101, right? So this will be the ID that will generate of particular order, right? I am going to close, and then it will save by super.save method, right? Similarly, we will have str method. What it will do, it is basically helps for showing formatted way of in the admin panel, right? And we will have two functions, which is get total price and get total count. So what get total price will help us is that we are initializing a total variable to 0, and then we are looping through each order items that we have, and we are just calling this order item dot get final price, which is here. So get final price. So what it will do, it will basically calculate price of all the order items that the user has bought or will going to buy, right? And this will help us in writing or displaying the total price onto the screen, right, onto the order list. I will show you this thing, okay? And we will have get total count. So this get total count will help in getting the value at the index page, right? So when we display cart photo or cart icon, in beside of that we will have number count, order count number, right? What it will do, basically it will get that order by the ID, that is pk equal to self.pk, and then it will return order.items.count. So it will return all the items count, right? So I will explain you this also. So let's close this. Now what we want to do here, before doing all these things, we will migrate our database. So let's run python manage.py make migrations. I think spelling mistake is here. Make migrations. Okay, so add alter field ID on category, alter field ID on customer, order, product. What changes we have done here? We haven't created anything. Okay. So then we will do python manage.py migrate. It will apply all the migrations, and after doing that we can we will run our server, right? And let's check the localhost first. Okay, so localhost/admin. I think you are getting all these things, right? So if you stuck somewhere, then don't forget to mention that in our comment section, right? That is basically the thing from which I can help you. Okay, or I'm going to give this code link in the form of GitHub link, so don't worry about that. But first try to do it by yourself, and then look for the code, right? So I'll be logging by my admin account. So here, as you can see, order and order items is showing up, right? Before that, one another thing is there. So in the admin.py file, you have to mention this. So admin.site, you have to register this model, right? So that it will be displayed onto the screen. Okay, so when we click on order items, as you can see, one of order toolkit is there. I am going to remove this for now. I have just done for testing purpose, right? So when we click on order item, it is showing me the user, right? So user will be basically the foreign key with our user model, right? So Mohit, Kshitij, Ravindra test that we have created earlier. So order will be boolean, ordered is boolean field, true or false. Then we have to select the product and its quantity, right? And we can add that product. Similarly, in the order section, in the order model, I have tested earlier, because I have tested that thing earlier. I am going to delete this thing, and in order it will have user, right? So Mohit, Kshitij, Ravindra test items will be when we click on that plus icon, it will be directed to our actual item. When we have just now we have opened that thing earlier, right? So order date will be filled, order, and all these IDs, all these values. Okay, now let's create, I'm closing this thing now, and let's create add to cart URL for this, and we will going to write its code, right? Let's close this thing, and we want to work only in urls.py file, right? So here what we will do, we will add one path. So path will be add to cart, and as many of you have guessed earlier, some product must be added to cart. So we want to grab that particular product ID. So here what we can do, similar to the product description URL that we have done, we can do like this. So pk will be there, which will be added, and views dot add to cart, and name will be equal to add to cart, add comma, and save this, right? It is giving me module core.views has no attribute add to cart, because we haven't written any code for this add to cart function, right? So let's copy this. In the views.py file, we will create add to cart function. So def add to cart, which will take request and your ID, right? Can you give ID or any variable name instead of pk? So the answer is yes, you can give. It's a local variable. We are just getting this value by just mapping onto the URL, particular URL, right? Now, okay, so we are just, let's hit pass. Give me one time so that. Okay, so let's write code for add to cart function. Here let me tell you one thing. Okay, when we are adding a product to the cart, what it will do, it will get that product ID, and it will create order item, and that order item will be added to the order. So one order object is also created and it will store, right? So this is the working of add to cart functionality. So the first step of doing this is we will create product. So we will not going to create product, we will going to get that product. So first step is get that particular product of id equal to pk, right? So here what we are going to do, we will just initialize one product variable. Here we will do product dot objects dot get. We will going to get with pk equal to pk. So we will going to grab that object, grab that product here, and here what we will do, we will create an order item. So create order item. So order item, we will going to initialize this. Created will be equal to, here what we are going to do, we will create order item object. So order of item dot objects dot, we will not going to just create write create here only. So we will going to write get or create. So get or create is a function, by the name is suggesting that it will get that particular object if it is there, or it will create a separate object if it is not there. Okay, why we use this? Because if I have added my product, suppose I have added my I will explain you this. Suppose I have added my Call of Duty Modern Warfare CD into my order, right, into my cart. What if I want to get this only again, I want to buy this only again, that means the quantity will be updated by 2, right? So it will not going to create another order item of the same id. It will going to get that order item and it will increment that its quantity, right? So that's what we want here. So what we will do, get or create method, we will pass product, which is product here that we have grabbed earlier. Similarly we will have user, which is equal to request.user. So current user who is logged in will be stored here, right? And here ordered will be equal to false. So currently the user haven't ordered it, right? So ordered that particular order, right? So it will be false. Let's hit save. Similarly the next step is to get that particular get query set of order object of particular user, right? So here what we are going to do, we will initialize order QS, that is query set, which is equal to order dot objects dot not all. It will filter, we will going to filter by user, right? So we will filter by user request dot user. So an order, a user can contain, so user model can contain many order objects, right? So we will filter by the particular user and with ordered equal to false. So why we use filter? Generally if we want to filter that particular the returned query set, if we want to filter it again, then we use order.objects.filter, right? So filter command is used generally for that purpose. So here what we are going to do, so all the order objects which belongs to the user which is currently logged in and which has ordered equal to false, that all values or that all objects will be returned as a query set, right? Now what we are going to do, we will check if order QS dot exist. We will check if this exists or not. If this exists, we will get the first order object, right? So we will get the first order object which is generally indicated by 0, and we will check again. So if order dot items dot filter. So here we will applying filter it again. That's why we have we have taken this order QS. So we are getting the order, first order in the order variable, right? So here we are checking if order dot items dot filter, we will filter by product ID. So you have to use double underscore, so one underscore, double underscore, and pk. So product pk is equal to pk, the ID or not, right? So as you have seen, we have grabbed that particular product by its ID, but we are getting that ID through order, right? So we are where the models.py file. So here ordered we are getting by. So item will contain many to many field. One order item has product variable or attribute. That's why we are checking if order.items.filter product pk equal to pk, and here we will check if this exists, right? We will check if this exists. That means if an order contain that particular product or not. That's it. If an order contain particular product or not, right? Then what we will going to do, we will going to increment its quantity. So order item dot quantity. That's what we want. That's why I have explained you earlier. If I have bought a particular Call of Duty Modern Warfare, suppose CD, first time, okay, and I want to buy it for second time, that means the quantity should be updated by 2, and that product we shouldn't get that particular ID again, right? So it will not going to be like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, right? As it is, we will going to get the order item will contain only Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and its quantity will be updated by 2, right? I think you are getting this thing. So what we will grab its quantity attribute. So ty we will just increment by 1. Similarly we will save this. So order item dot save method. Now we can say messages dot info, and we can get that request, and we can say added quantity item, right? Now we can redirect the user to the product description page. So I think product DESC was there, and the ID will be pk, right? So it will redirect the user. But if order.items.filter, if we have filtered by its ID, if it doesn't exist, right, that means the product is not added in the order. So we have to create one order item. So else we can say order dot items dot add. Okay, we will add that order item. That's it, we have done here. Similarly we will going to save this. So messages dot info, we can copy this thing. So messages dot info, okay, added quantity item, again we can say here, or item here what we can say, add item added to cart, right? And it will definitely going to redirect this to the particular product description page. And at last, this is the last thing, if order the query set that we are getting by filtering the order objects, right, if it doesn't exist, that means order itself is not created. So what we can say, else we will say ordered date equal to time zone dot now. So time zone basically gives you the current time, right? And let's import time zone from here. So from django.utils import time zone. Just save this, and here what we are going to do, we will create order item variable, and we will save the current time zone value in there. And we will create one order object. So order equal to order dot objects dot create. Here user will be request dot user. Similarly ordered date, so we have order date, as you have guessed, earlier order date attribute, so we will assign to this order date. So not order date, order date, right? I'm fumbling most of the times, but just ignore it, right? So what then, after order is created, what we can do? Order dot items dot add, and we will add that order item. Okay, similarly we can do as we have done earlier, messages dot info request, which will take request and item added to cart, right? And we can redirect to the user, so return redirect product description page, pk will be equal to pk. Okay, so we have done now, we have created, we have written, so it is looking so long thing, but it will work finely, right? Okay, so it's time for checking, for testing. Let's hit refresh. What I'll do here, I have logged in by Ravindra, right? So yeah, we can buy products as an admin only, so don't worry, don't need for login by particular another user, right? So currently my products, we haven't shown, as you have guessed earlier, we haven't showed the cart option or cart quantity in the index page, in the home page, but we will going to show this. But let's test this for now, if this code works or not. Okay, so what I am going to do, let's click on Call of Duty Modern Warfare view more, and I am going to open localhost / admin, our admin panel again, to check if order item is there or not. So order item is 0, so we don't have any order item for now, and we don't have orders for now. Okay, so let's add to cart this, right? Before that I forgot to tell you that in the product description page, instead of the URL, in place of that URL of add to cart, so I have added that URL add to cart and given product.pk. So we are looping through. Where is that loop? We haven't looping through. We are getting all the attributes and values by product.name, product.description, product.price, right? So to get that ID, we will do product.pk. So and I'll calling add to cart URL here. So let's save this and run another. I have just clicked this add to cart button. So let's see if the order item is consisting of that particular item or not. So as you can see, item added to the cart. So one of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, as you can see. So a user is Ravindra, so we are logged in as Ravindra only. Then ordered, we haven't ordered that thing right now, so we have just added to our cart, right? The product is Call of Duty Modern Warfare and quantity is 1. Okay, now if I click on this again, okay, it is giving me order reference before assignment. So it was my mistake actually, I have misspelled this. So we will getting order that particular by order query set. So order QS equal to 0 will come here. Okay, so sorry for my mistake, just I have misspelled this thing, that's why error is coming here. So when we hit refresh, it should work. So it has redirected the page, that means item is added, item should be added. So when we hit refresh here, as you can see here, the quantity is 1, but as I have explained you earlier, the quantity should be updated to 2. So when we hit refresh, so quantity is updated to 2, and 2 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right? So when we hit back, and let's check order. So in the order I have user, so which is me itself, and as you can see here, we have 2 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So order delivered, all this data we can store it later on at the time of submission, right? Or at a time, not submission, at a time of when payment integration, right? So here is how we have what we have created, what we want here right now. Okay, so what we want here, we want to show that cart along with its our order item count here. So let's go to the index page. where the index page was, index.html. Here if the user is authenticated, then we are going to I am going to do this again. So I am going to explain you this thing again. So we will configure this thing based on the condition of the admin and the user. We should be able to distinguish the URLs, right? So I think you didn't get anything. Let me explain you. If add product should be used for admin only. So only admin can use add product. So no one can add product else admin. So that's why what we can say, if the user is, as we have specified here, if user is authenticated, we can specify like if user is admin or not. If it is admin, then show him add to cart URL. If it is not, if he is not, then show him any other URL, right? So we are showing him welcome and logout option, right? So welcome and logout will come for admin also, but some special URLs will also come here, like dashboard, like add product. So that will be that will be used by only admin only, right? So only I can, whoever the admin is, only he can manage that particular URL, right? Now what we need to do here, I'll add globally only. So we will not going to check this thing again. So let's copy this only. So home, here what we can do, href, we will going to say this only hash. We will change this later on. So home, instead of home, what we can say, cart, and here in place of this cart we will have badge also. So let's go to the bootstrap badge. So let's close this, we don't want this right now. So bootstrap badge. So badge is bootstrap. How to access that? Let's see how to access this. So new, I think, yeah, that's what we want here. So profile 9. So we don't want a button. How to do that? Okay, let's add button only here. Okay, so button, here what we can say, so we can specify this class to okay, so this is nav link. Here what we can specify, so I am closing this button, I am removing this button, profile span. Okay, profile will not come here, right? So unread messages, where is that unread messages? Okay, so let's close this thing, if it is work or not. Let's see if it works or not, right? So here in place of 9, okay, so let's keep it that 9 for there, and let's try to refresh. So cart, and the 9 is not there, right? Why? What we can do here, by just adding space, we can do for now. We don't have time to change that thing. So cart 9 is here. So what we can do here, we will contain that thing in div only. So here what we can add, so style will be equal to color, which will be equal to red, and here we will specify 9, right? So I think that should work. So cart 9, but we need space. So there is, I think there is special function, right? Address of NBSP and semicolon, right? So this is the thing that will be okay. So cart 9, there is space here, that's what we want. Let's add another NBSP to get the proper spacing. Okay, so 9 should be the count. We have just written static here, so 9 is we have written, but what we want here to get the order item count, just like template tagging method that we used earlier. Haven't focused on this thing in the views.py file. In the index page, what we are doing, we are just getting all the products and we are just rendering. There is no what we can say, we are not using order item and order objects models here. Then how, and we are just looping through this product, then how can we get that particular order item count? What we want here, we just want whatever that particular user has items in that particular order, right? We just want to grab that items count in the index.html page globally, right? We can say that we want to access that global. For that, template tag method is used. So template tag, we will going to load that template tag, and for that, from that we will going to access this thing, right? So let's see how to do that. Okay, so let's see how to do that, right? I am in the core folder that we have created earlier. Now what I will do, if I want to use template tags, I will create one folder inside the core, right? So I will create name is it as template. So in that template tags I will create one file which you can say cart template tag, right? You can name this thing anything, right? It's up to you. That much freedom is given by Django to you, right? So I am going to create cart template tag.py, and here what I am going to do, we will going to write the same code to get the count, right? To get that order item counts. So for that, one thing we need to do is to import the template. So from Django import template. So we will going to import template, not template tags, right? So here from core.model, so we also require that particular order models. So we will import that model also. So we will going to import the order model only. Now we will going to register our template, right? So we must register our template. That's feature or specialty is given by Django, so that we can register this. We have to register this thing for first, and then by using this template tagging method we can call that function, right? Globally. So we will just write register equal to template dot library. We will going to call this thing. Okay, so we will going to call this thing library. And now what we can do, we will this is decorator, this is basically a decorator. So we can add register dot filter, right? So after that we will create function. So def cart item count. So we just want cart item count, that's why I am naming it as cart item count. You can name it as at anything, any name, right? So if we will check if user is authenticated, we will check if user is authenticated. If it is not, show him 0, right? Show him 0 value. Now show him 0 means show him show at in place of that particular number, show just 0. That means nothing is selected, no user is logged in, right? So we will check if user is authenticated, then we will grab that query set as we have done earlier. So order dot objects dot filter, we will filter by user equal to user, and which has ordered equal to false, right? Which has order equal to false. And now what we can do, if we have to check this thing, if QS exists, if this query set exists, then we will return its count. So QS0, not 00, QS0 dot items, I'm misspelling this, items dot count, right? And now if user is not authenticated, return 0. That's it. If you want to this you include this in your index.html page, so let's go ahead over to the index.html page. Here what we have added, we have loaded static. Similarly we have to load our that template tag. So what we are going to do here, so we will load this file. So this we have to write this function name here, right? So cart item count. not function name, sorry, not function name. We have to load this file name, the Python file which we have created inside the template tags, so which is cart template tag. So in the index.html I will load it as cart, make sure your spelling is same, template tag, right? I am going to load this thing like this, and inside the red option that we have created in the 9, what we need to do, we will pass request.user. As you can see here, the function is taking the user object, right? So here what we can do, request.user, and this is the filtering method. Basically we will call cart item count. I think the function is same, cart item count. We will going to call like this, right? And let's hit save and refresh the page. Okay, so it is giving me error, cart template tag is not registered tag, must be okay. I think what I have forgotten in the templates tag, I think we need to add that init.py. So init.py, we don't have to write this thing. So let's close this thing again, and I am going to rerun the server. Let's see how to use that thing. So if we hit refresh here, so bool object is not callable. The error that bool object is not callable is because this function is not we don't have to call like this. So it is a when a user is authenticated, is checked by this only. So when we hit refresh, it should work here. Okay, we have just extracted the items count from our order model in the index.html page globally, right? With the help of template tags, right? So when we hit cart 1, nothing will happen because we haven't given the URL for this. Okay, so now what we need to do, we will create order list page. In that order list page, what we will going to have, all the orders, that all the order items in the particular cart, right? So when we hit refresh, when we click on this cart, so it should be directed to the order list page, so where we are going to list all the order items that we have currently bought. Then we can increment that any particular product from there, or decrement any particular product from there. So we should be able to do all these things, and at final we need to proceed, we should be able to proceed for checkout. So that's what we want. So we will going to do this in the next video. So if you have any doubts regarding this today's video, do mention in the comment section, and please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and don't forget to press that bell icon. Okay, so stay home, stay safe. Thank you for watching this video.